What if the most powerful diplomat of the next decade is not the one who speaks the most languages, but the one who understands the stack? What if strategic depth is no longer measured in territory, but in compute capacity and cloud infrastructure? As we conclude phase one of this international relations journey, one thing becomes clear. The traditional IR professional is evolving. The historian turned diplomat is becoming a hybrid strategist, fluent in treaties, algorithms, and geopolitical data streams. The first emerging archetype is the AI policy advisor, the translator between engineers and ministers. As governments debate digital Geneva conventions and negotiate guardrails around autonomous systems, there is a widening gap between technical reality and political decision-making. AI policy advisors bridge that gap. They must explain why a 3-nanometer export restriction may function as a more powerful deterrent than a naval blockade. They must understand AI red teaming, model risk tiers, compute thresholds, and algorithmic accountability frameworks. In global summits and regulatory negotiations, they define the red lines that prevent machine speed escalation from becoming geopolitical disaster. The second archetype is the geopolitical data analyst, the forecaster. The era of intuition-only intelligence is fading. Modern policy decisions increasingly rely on dashboards, integrating satellite heat signatures, tanker tracking signals, financial volatility indexes, and sentiment analysis. These professionals translate raw data into strategic probability. If nationalist rhetoric spikes alongside abnormal trade flows and energy disruptions, they flag conflict risk weeks before traditional diplomatic channels react. Institutions, central banks, and multinational firms now require this evidence-based foresight. The IR professional of the future must be comfortable moving between realism theory and regression modeling. The third emerging role is the cyber strategy expert, the defender of digital sovereignty. In an age of agentic malware and AI-driven intrusion, national security extends into the cloud. Cyber strategists design resilience frameworks rather than merely retaliation doctrines. Since attribution is often ambiguous, deterrence increasingly depends on recovery capacity, how quickly a power grid can self-heal, how securely healthcare data can be geopatriated, how resilient financial systems remain after an intrusion attempt. Sovereignty in 2026 is as much about firewalls as borders. This transformation does not erase traditional diplomacy. It redefines it. The future IR professional must bridge realism and data science, negotiation theory, and algorithmic modeling. The embassy now extends into semiconductor fabs and data centers. The negotiation table is supported by simulation engines. The battlefield includes code. Phase one has given you the foundation, the theories of power, sovereignty, institutions, conflict, and technological transformation. You now understand how AI, silicon, data, and cyber competition are rewriting the architecture of global order. But understanding is only the first layer. Phase two is about execution. It is about the tools, simulations, analytical models, and practical skill sets that allow you to operate inside this system rather than merely observe it. The future belongs to hybrid thinkers, those who can decode a treaty and query a dataset with equal confidence. We have completed the theory of 21st century power. Now we move to practice.